Belinda Clark, the trailblazing queen of Australian women's cricket. Belinda Jane Clark is one of the most iconic figures in the history of women's cricket. Known for her elegant batting style, strong leadership, and groundbreaking contributions both on and off the field, Clark not only dominated as a player, but also became a symbol of progress for women's sports worldwide. Her career is celebrated for record-breaking performances, her captaincy in World Cup victories, and her pioneering role in shaping the future of cricket in Australia and beyond. Early life and introduction to cricket. Belinda Clark was born on 10th of September 1970 in Newcastle, New South Wales, Australia. From a young age, she displayed a natural sporting ability. While she enjoyed multiple sports, it was cricket that captured her heart. At a time when opportunities for women in cricket were limited, Clark had to overcome barriers and stereotypes, but her determination and love for the game set her apart. She joined local cricket clubs and quickly rose through the ranks. Her solid technique and ability to anchor innings, marking her out as a player of special talent. Soon, selectors could not ignore her consistent performances, and she earned her place in the New South Wales women's team before breaking into the Australian national side. International debut and rise to stardom. Clark made her one-day international ODI debut for Australia in 1991 against New Zealand. From the very beginning, she showed composure and class with the bat, playing with the kind of maturity that made her a dependable top-order batter. Her Test debut came in 1991 against India, where she demonstrated her resilience in the longer format. Over the years, she became the bedrock of Australia's batting lineup, anchoring innings and guiding her team through difficult situations. Clark's batting style was not built solely on aggression. Instead, she relied on timing, placement, and patience, making her one of the most technically sound players of her generation. Captaincy and leadership. Belinda Clark was appointed captain of the Australian women's cricket team in 1994, and her tenure remains one of the most successful in cricket history. Her leadership transformed the Australian team into a dominant force on the world stage. Under her captaincy, Australia won the 1997 Women's World Cup in India. She again led the side to victory in the 2005 Women's World Cup in South Africa, cementing her legacy as a two-time World Cup winning captain. Clark's leadership was not only about tactical brilliance, but also about inspiring her teammates. She was known for her calm temperament, sharp cricketing brain, and ability to bring out the best in her players. The historic double century, 229. One of Belinda Clark's most celebrated achievements came during the 1997 Women's World Cup in Mumbai, India. Playing against Denmark, Clark scored a monumental 229, not out, the first double century in the history of ODI cricket, men's or women's. This incredible knock not only shattered records but also put women's cricket firmly on the global sporting map. At that time, no male cricketer had ever reached a double century in ODIs, making her feat even more groundbreaking. Her innings remains one of the greatest performances in cricket history, showcasing her skill, stamina, and determination. Career highlights and records. Throughout her illustrious career, Belinda Clark built an extraordinary record that placed her among the greatest cricketers in history. In 15 Test matches, she scored 919 runs at an impressive average of 45.95, including a highest score of 136. In 118 one-day internationals ODIs, she amassed a remarkable 4,044 runs at an average of 47.49, with 5 centuries and 30 half-centuries to her name. Her most iconic achievement came during the 1997 Women's World Cup, when she smashed an unbeaten 229 runs against Denmark, becoming the first cricketer, male or female, to score a double century in ODIs. This record-breaking innings not only redefined women's cricket but also stood as a global landmark in the history of the game. At the time of her retirement in 2005, she was the highest run scorer in women's ODIs, and her tally of nearly 5,000 runs set a benchmark for generations to follow. Retirement and administrative contributions. Belinda Clark retired from international cricket in 2005, leaving behind an extraordinary legacy. However, her impact on cricket did not end with her playing career. She transitioned into cricket administration, taking up leadership roles that shaped the growth of the sport in Australia. As the executive of Cricket Australia's Community Cricket Department, Clark worked tirelessly to grow participation at the grassroots level, particularly encouraging more young girls to take up the game. Her efforts ensured that women's cricket in Australia received the recognition and structure it deserved, paving the way for the success of modern stars like Ellis Perry, Meg Lanning, and Alyssa Healy. Recognition and awards. Belinda Clark's contributions to cricket have been widely acknowledged. In 2011, she was inducted into the ICC Cricket Hall of Fame, becoming one of the first female cricketers to receive the honor. In 2014, she was inducted into the Australian Cricket Hall of Fame. The Belinda Clark Award, introduced in 2002, is presented annually to Australia's best female cricketer, a fitting tribute to her immense impact on the game. In 2023, a bronze statue of Belinda Clark was unveiled outside the Sydney Cricket Ground, SCG, making her the first female cricketer in the world to be immortalized with a statue at a major sporting venue. Legacy. Belinda Clark's legacy goes far beyond runs, records, and trophies. She is remembered as a pioneer who inspired generations of women to believe in their ability to achieve greatness in sports. Her double century remains one of cricket's greatest milestones, while her leadership and administrative roles created a stronger foundation for women's cricket worldwide. Today, when we see packed stadiums for women's matches and thriving leagues like the Bell Women's Big Bash League, much of the credit goes back to trailblazers like Belinda Clark, who laid the groundwork. She not only broke barriers but also ensured that those barriers stayed broken for the players who followed. Conclusion. Belinda Clark's story is one of passion, perseverance, and progress. From a young girl in New South Wales to becoming the first ODI, double centurion, and a two-time World Cup winning captain, her journey symbolizes the rise of women's cricket on the global stage. Her influence continues to be felt in every aspect of the sport as a record-breaking player, a visionary leader, and a pioneering administrator. Belinda Clark is not just a former Australian captain. She is a legend, a role model, and a true queen of cricket history.